Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. There we go.
Oh, good. How's everybody this evening?
Good, thank you. How are you?
No, doing fine. I trust everybody had a good Memorial Day.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
Fine.
Great. That's great. I'll start. Is Chief Cavens on? Oh, there you are, Chief. I was just curious as I drove over, there's I think it's been cleared by now, but an accident on 64 East right before 270. I wondered if you had heard anything about that one.
Yes, sir. We've had, for some reason, the heat has caused all these traffic crashes. We've been inundated with them this afternoon. As far as I know, on the crash that you're speaking of, nobody was injured.
Great. That's the best news. Thank you. Thanks very
You're
much.
welcome.
Work session on the minutes. Do they look okay? Any amendments?
Look good.
Good. Okay, great. Later, during the regular meeting, we will welcome the state auditor's office and Showalter and Jabori during the regular meeting. We'll have some comments from them. Just wanted to, I think you were aware of that, but wanted to give you a heads up. Unfinished business bill 2120, Alderman Weezahan, are we good with that one? Okay, great, great. And bill 2121, which I think is the board as a whole. I think that's been through Public Works, and I will ask, anyone have any issues with it? Good, good. We're going to have a resolution directing the establishment of a task force to honor veterans and first responders. I think we're good to go on that. Sue Allen, Alderman Allen, do you want to say a word about that? I think you're on mute, Alderman Allen. There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
Okay. I can't see anybody, so I'm sorry. I'll work on it, keep working. Yes, I've talked to everyone. I think we're good to go. I have talked to Alderman Whitmire, and he was wanting to share some thoughts, and I'm good with what his comment is. But yes, I'd like to get this going, and I think we have good support.
Okay, great. The only other, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I would say full support.
Okay, great. The only other comment I would have on it is pointed out to me, and I think it was a good point, that probably going forward, we will try to keep most of these things within commission so that they feel like people aren't doing an end around the basic work they need to do. But I think that for this particular task force, especially since at our retreat, we will be discussing the realignment of some of the commissions. We may end up exactly where we are today. It may not change at all. But because of that, I thought this would be one time, perhaps what I would even say one final time we'll use a task force. And I have a couple of people that I would like to put on it that will be, I think, very goal directed and something that will hopefully be able to, we'll be able to, within a couple of weeks, bring up the people we want on that task force so we don't string this out, get it up and running, and come up with a decision in terms of exactly what it looks like, where it goes, et cetera, funding, and in a very reasonable amount of time. But I would say going forward, probably try to keep most of these kinds of things within commissions and not have much more in the way of task force going forward.
Okay, I agree, and thank you, Mayor. I think that what I would hope the first things would be done would be to establish timelines and movement and get going.
Yeah, if you could wrap it up by July 4th, it'd be great. Just
Good
all right.
idea.
All right.
Good thought.
All right, under new business, approval of a purchase order for the number 4 on Covington Place. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Pam Holman is Alderman Holman, you're gonna recuse yourself from this one?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, great, thank you. Everyone ready to proceed on that? And also on the next one, stormwater maintenance on Manderley Woods. Okay. And any issues with the purchase of the patrol fleet? I think we've done this. I don't think this is the first time we've done this, or it's first time for me as mayor, but I think this has been done in the past and has been vetted pretty well in the past, if I remember.
It's good.
Okay. And then a resolution from the Board of Aldermen endorsing the vacation of right-of-way at 2721 North Ballas, which is basically at the corner of Ballas and Clayton. I think basically what's going to happen is that gas station may take some of the area they have and make it into a larger convenience store, which in a way will also help with sales tax. But any questions and ready to proceed on that? Alderman Holman.
I just have a question. Procedurally, are we going to vote on the resolution this evening? This is in our ward and I
Right.
have not had the opportunity to speak with Alderman Hughes with regard to this, but I am ready to move on this evening unless otherwise indicated by one of my fellow aldermen.
I am going to defer to the city clerk, Ms. McNamara. I do believe we were going to, this resolution, we're going to just finish it tonight. Is that correct?
Procedurally, you're absolutely able to do resolutions in the same night that they're on the packet. The board in the past and even this board recently has those out in some cases. So it's really the will of the body. If everybody's ready to proceed though, you guys can absolutely take it up tonight by voice vote.
Alderman Whitmire, let me ask you a question on that, because I think in the past on a different topic, you had brought up our procedures are to have a couple of weeks for public comment and things. Would that tell me your comfort level with moving forward on this tonight? I'm just interested.
Well, so on behalf of John Benegas, who was the guy that started this, yeah, that has been our practice, not our requirement. It has been our practice. And I guess in this particular case, given what they're thinking about doing with this property, it could be something that a lot of folks might have concerns about or thoughts about. That gas station is loved by the citizens. Go ahead, and I'll leave it at that because I think the clerk would like to respond to what I just said.
Well, the city administrator should interrupt me if I'm incorrect, but I just want to be sure that everyone understands on this meeting and the public watching that this resolution is not tied to a specific development. There's no application or anything on file at this point. So this vacation of right-of-way would happen outside of any planned change. So just
Right. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong also, either Bob or Ashley, that what we're doing is we're supporting, it's the county that actually has to vacate the right of way and approve that. What we're just doing is saying, if the county elects to vacate that right of way, that we are that we're fine with it. Is that basically what this means?
Exactly correct. And this could be vacated even if there were no changes. The county could still vacate this. They're basically saying they would not be widening Ballas Road, but dedicating a portion of this for any future pedestrian trail or sidewalk that may exist. So any redevelopment of that corner would obviously go to planning and zoning board. This is exactly as the mayor said, in support of the county vacating their right of way on Ballas.
You know, it would seem to me we ought to be able to just finish that tonight unless somebody really, because again, it's not approving any specific plans, just endorsing if the county wishes to vacate that we support that. I feel like we could just finish that tonight, frankly. Right. And then architecture review for REI. Any questions? Everyone ready to proceed? I believe Alderman Even would tell us that that went through ARB and was unanimously approved. Is that correct?
That's correct. They are still working on that lease. It's supposed to be a lease lengthier than what Steinmart had, but those negotiations are still occurring. And they're hoping that if everything goes as planned, that REI would be able to start loading the store maybe in January and have a spring opening is what their hope is. But again, those lease, that's still a negotiation right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And the next thing is the approval of the annual liquor licenses. I mean, we could read every single one of those, or we could just approve them in whole in one motion, if that would be reasonable. I mean, I think there's stores and restaurants, things that we're all aware of in this community. So I would, unless you want to take up the entire list one by one, I think we'll do it as one motion, hopefully without any objections.
That's good. Excuse me, Mayor,
Sure, Alderman Allen.
and I'm sorry for interrupting. I still can't see anything other than myself on the screen, but, and I do see that Lutheran Senior Services Mason Point is on that. Just to be clear, that is where I live. It's a nice service to have, and I think I would like to just recuse myself for that if possible.
Sure. I think that's fine.
Thank you.
And Mayor, I have a question,
That's
if
all.
I may.
Sure,
And
of course.
if now isn't the appropriate time to ask it. I can ask it again in the live meeting, but I'm just curious to know if there are any establishments that did not come back this year to renew their license.
I'm aware of one, but that is because the owner is a procrastinator. And I'm actually going to go talk to him personally tomorrow and say, get it in, or you seriously will not be selling any liquor on the 4th of July. I'm not aware of any other place that is voluntarily deciding not to do that, but that's the one, and we could try to address that because time is short. Thanks. And I guess it's almost 7 on the warrant list. Any major questions? Okay, I think
I do have one quick update for the board that I'd like to present during our work session.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Thank you.
So I've been asked by the trustees of Boak Lane to approach my fellow board members requesting appropriations to resurface their roadway. I've previously requested that each of the aldermen take a look at the condition of Boak Lane roadway. And this is following the Missouri American Water main replacement and a partial resurfacing that did occur on that roadway. My update for you, Mayor, and the board is I'll be taking the Boak Lane trustee request to the Public Works Commission for our July meeting, and I will report back with a recommendation or a formal action from that commission.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. All right, I think we will adjourn the work session and we will start the regular session
Right.
pretty much directly. Thank you.